Alright guys, we're gonna go over the Game Boy kiosk. So I just got this. I actually just took it apart, so you're wondering where's everything. I took it apart. That's the first thing I did. I wanted to take it apart, see how it works. If I ever need to service this, figure out what I need to do. This is the Game Boy kiosk. It has the light's been replaced down here with the fluorescent to LED, but it's still there. This has been updated to the Game Boy Pocket. It still has the original signage from the Game Boy, but this is new stock. These stickers are new. From what I was told, they put a bunch of brand new stickers on this. This front cover is new old stock from what I was told, and it does, because it doesn't look any faded at all. Looks actually pretty good. But let's go ahead and cover how this thing works. So obviously the Game Boy's down here. If you want to service it, you use the key to open it here. Gives you access to the amp to turn the volume, and then there's the sound. There's the outlet bar down there, and there's speakers on each side. Also, if you want to service the inside, there's a key up top, right here. There is yellowing on the back of this kiosk, but that's just kind of normal where they set. Someone looks like they've tried to get that yellowing out, so I'll probably be the next person to work on that to get the yellowing out. Now that I've taken it apart, it'll give me time to take it further apart and get it as clean as as the original as I can get. Once you open this here though, it will separate the kiosk in half, as you can see. The TV and the demo vision goes in there, and it's all kind of just tied down. There's not really anything sticking it. It just kind of fits compactly in there. It doesn't move, because when I received it, just sitting in there, and actually didn't move at all. But let me go ahead and cover how the Game Boy actually displays to the TV. So the Game Boy Pocket sits in this acrylic cover. There's a bunch of wires that come out from here that are hooked to the board. I'm gonna open the Game Boy as well in the future and kind of see where they did the connections, and we'll see. I put in a bootleg Game Boy with all the Pokemon games in there, so instead of taking out, because on the original fat DMG Game Boy, you were this was the size of it. This acrylic case was the size of it, and you could have access to the game pack and pull out the game easily. But in this one, they put it on an acrylic cover, so to get to it, I have to take this acrylic cover apart. So I just put a multi-card in. That way I don't have to do that all the time. But this is a demo vision here, and you can see that it says Nintendo Demo Vision. These are the instructions, so I can show you here. So if you want to pause the video, and there's dip switches in this machine to kind of control the timer of when this resets. And there's a timer here, and there's dip switches in there, so you need like a little stick to change it. This is the reset switch for the kiosk, and then this goes to the Game Boy. If you're wondering why there's a number 2 though, that's because certain versions of these kiosks came with 2 Game Boys, and they would go head to head, and you could hook them up together, and instead of having to use a link cable, you were able to go head to head with the person next to you without using a link cable, because it was all hooked up through this box, which I think is cool. Now, what I didn't realize here is there is an RF out, so you could hook this to a standard television, like the SNES or the Super Nintendo, and get the RF's adapter, and go to channel 3 or channel 4. You can do that with this. Also, it came with composite audio and video outs for each of the boards if you want to. I'm going to hopefully try to find a second board and see how that all works, or find another demo vision with 2. But what I decided to do today was, well, before I get to that, let me show you the TV. So this is a black and white Hi-Tron television or video monitor. It says black and white down here on the bottom. You push it, and you can open it up and control different settings, like what does that say? H hold, V hold, brightness, and contrast. So there's 3 knobs there to control that. There is a burned image. You can't probably see it in the video, but it says dot matrix up here, like the Game Boy, the original GMG. And that's just because this is the only sole function of this TV, so there's going to be a burned image regardless. There's a handle up here for you to pick it up. It's actually very light. And then in the back, it uses like these different type of composite cables. I've seen these on the N64 kiosk as well. They have it. So it's a very interesting type of connector. It has an adapter tied to it, so you can put a regular composite adapter to it. Now it does have a setting there. It says it's set to 75 ohms of impedance and high, so it's set to 75. So anyone that wants to know, just leave it at 75. Don't change it. Here's the model number. It's HV M1212, I believe, Hytron model. It works fine. I have no issues with it. Just black and white. But I wanted to test to see what would happen if I put it on a regular television. So here's my GameCube kiosk, and I just wired it all up because you can. The cool thing about it is you can do stereo on this thing. Oh, well, not really. I mean, there's one cable. You can split that channel up in two here. So technically, it's still mono, but you're splitting the channel into left and right. At least that's what the kiosk does on its end, because there's two little speakers in there. But here's the switch, and they had a tape covering it, set to always on, and then you use the power brick inside to turn it on. But you turn the sucker on. There goes the Game Boy. It says Nintendo, and let's see what it looks like on TV. So as you can see, it does display colors because it's a different color of gray and different color of light gray and dark gray there. There's a red and a blue up there. Battery's a light gray. There's a red on the battery indicator. So this demo vision can display different colors. It's just that the monitor is not set up for it. So let's go ahead and now, if you run a Game Boy Color game, the Pocket won't play it, unfortunately, so that's the drawback. But I can play Mega Man if I want to. Let's go ahead and do Pokemon Red. Uh-oh, my little guy. Uh-oh. Oh, he's like, wow. So it is playing video and audio on the TV. It looks super crisp. The colors of the actual gameplay are like, yeah, that kind of puke green looking, grayish. So, yeah, you can kind of tell there. So that's pretty cool that I got a Game Boy that I can use to capture video if I want in the future for gameplay purposes if I want to as well. Or other reasons regardless. But yeah, the quality is super good. You can just see that the quality is amazing. It's like if I get closer, it starts you can see the flashes of the TV. But yeah, it looks amazing. I'm surprised that it's that simple. It's like I think I've heard that they think it's I've heard that it's just like an NES box in there or something like that. Or I don't know what, but regardless, it's a very simple setup. They just grab the feed from the Game Boy. This is the only time they ever did this for the Game Boy Pocket and the DMG. They never did this again. I haven't seen a Game Boy Color or Game Boy Color, Game Boy SP, my Game Boy Micro that they did this to, where they let retail stores have these type of DMGs so that they could display in their stores. This type of Game Boys to display on the monitor. You never had a live feed to a monitor. It was always you just play on a little screen. So I think that's really cool that they did this just at the very beginning. So these are pretty sought after. If you find one at a really good deal, go for it. These are getting harder and harder to find. And then in the conditions, a lot of these were unfortunately thrown out, or they've not tested the test of time, unfortunately, if they weren't taken care of, because like I said, they're vacuum formed. The plastic seems to
get brittle and fall apart. So if you have one of these, immediately swap out that fluorescent bulb for an LED bulb so you don't destroy the kiosk any more than it already has been. But yeah, that's the video. It's a really cool piece of history that Nintendo did with the Game Boy. If you can find it, try to find it, because these are getting harder and harder to find. I was able to add it to my collection, but I still need to figure out where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to probably make some kind of table or something for it to sit on, or maybe I'll make a custom DMG drawer for it to sit on top of. It should be cool. We'll see what happens. But I'll probably do another video opening this up, seeing what the possibilities are to make it work. I know I could technically make it work on a DMG machine as well, but I'd have to desolder and resolder the wiring. So maybe I'll just find this adapter with all the wiring for it and figure out where all the solder points are. Maybe I can make it return back to a DMG, or leave it as is. But we'll see what happens in the future. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any more questions or you want me to take it more apart, I probably will. I think a YouTube video of this apart. So it's out there. It's not a common thing to see. But that's it. Hope you enjoy the video. Have a good one.